Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Valheim series. Today we're going to do a little bit more exploration. We're back through the portal where our boat is up on what we believe to be the island where the Queen is located. Now, because this is fresh territory in terms of Mistlands and we hadn't explored very much of it, we are going to push on and see what else we can discover in this lovely little area. So strap yourself in, take your anti-heights, nausea medications, and stay tuned for a bit of action. Now, the next bit I'm going to coin a weapons test. If you remember the end of the previous episode, we made ourselves an arbalist, which is just a fancy word for crossbow. And as evidenced by the first time I've used it, I've just got a skill of 1. But as you can see, it hits pretty hard, even with no real skill in it. We're almost talking about 3 shots to kill a Seeker, which is not bad going at all. So stay tuned for some more spectacular damage numbers when it comes to the crossbow use. As my skill increases, the damage will also go up a bit. So looking forward to that one. Alright, we can see some diverger lights in the distance there. That marks the entrance of, I guess you could say, the temple where the Queen is. Now, unlike the other bosses, the Queen is actually locked away. So the Queen is like in a dungeon. And the seal breaker fragments that we've been finding is what we need to craft a seal breaker, which is what we'll use to break open and go in there when it comes time to fight the Queen. In the meantime, I'm just scouting this out so you can all see what the front of the temple actually looks like. When you arrive, you will definitely be greeted by a menagerie of Seekers. So make sure you don't just rock up here expecting no action whatsoever, or you might not be in for a good time. Alright, just in time, we have a little bit of reading with Rob. Not much reading between the lines on that one. They sealed the door and scattered the key, and they said we have to leave her be. Well, I'm going to need more evidence than that, so... But for the moment, yep, we are going to leave her be. Now, this little area is a perfect staging area for when you get around to doing the Queen. There's a bunch of little rooms in here. At least one of them has enough space that you can actually put a portal down. Not to mention you can potentially destroy some of this stuff to get some materials as well. They also recommend when it comes time to do the Queen, pop a little bit of backup equipment and a bed here, so that if the worst happens during your Queen fight, you are going to respawn just outside, and you're not going to have some god-awful run back to your body in Mistlands, which is just the worst experience. So that big door is behind, that is where you zone in to do the Queen. So now we've established that this is where the Queen is and we've cleared a bit of a path. We're going to keep exploring. We're going to find out what else is available in this area. The fact that we've got a boss here is an indicator that we can probably expect maybe a couple of dungeons somewhere nearby, because it usually indicates that the Mistlands, or indeed the cases with any boss, the area is big enough that other useful stuff can sometimes be here. So that's what we're going to go looking for. And we might find a little bit of trouble along the way. Speaking of trouble, we can hear the mating call of the angry Zeppelin in the distance. So we have got ourselves armed for bear, and we're expecting that the Zeppelin will make its presence known, given that there are some divergers here and the two inevitably end up colliding at some point. So we've got ourselves ready for when that happens. Well, the angry Zeppelin was taking too long, and I heard the telltale stomping of a Seeker soldier, so I thought, that'll have to do for now. Let's get some of that action first. And that's the sound you don't want to hear when you're in the middle of a fight with a Seeker soldier. Well, isn't that just a pain? They hang around long enough to cook you to within an inch of your life, and then they just wander off like it's nothing. Well, this one decided not to go too far, and in his return, he has guaranteed that he's gonna die. Now, you'll notice sometimes the crossbow does not hit very hard. That's because I'm not hitting the delicate underbelly. When you hit the delicate underbelly, you do get the yellow damage number, and the amount of damage goes up quite a lot. That is what I love most about the crossbow. You can spend the time, you can line up the shot, and if you manage to hit the soft bits, you will hit like a freight train. And here's a bit of a special opportunity. I've still got a minute or two left on my bone mass, so while I've got my Mark III door knocker out, I thought I'd have a bit of a weapons test on some of the locals. And gotta say, I did like that weapons test. Leave a comment down below if you liked it as well. And just when we thought we were done with angry zeppelins for the day, we can hear the baleful sounds of another one in the distance. But in the meantime, we've also found ourselves another dungeon. So we're going to get some more sniper practice with our beautiful new arbalist, and see if we can expire a few roaches while we're at it. Yeah, I was getting a bit impatient with the dealing with the cockroach on the roof. They do love to sit up there, and sometimes they'll come down of their own accord. Other times they are happy to stay up there and just be annoying. So apparently that is the kind that this one is. So we're just leaving a little bit of stuff behind, and we're going to go in and run this dungeon. We're just going to have a little save game first. Never hurts to do that before you go into a dungeon. Let's see what manner of fun, pain, and or suffering we can get up to in this infested mine. You gotta love the comedy value of the size of the head of the Door Knocker Mark III. It's almost like the developers want you to walk into a room with, you know, Thor with Mjolnir, and then whip this thing out and just go, yeah, I think mine's bigger. In a bit of a door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3 moment, we've settled for door number 3. And behind it, we have found ourselves a 1-star Seeker, but it had lost quite a large chunk of its health thanks to Door Knocker Mark III, which is always nice to see. And we've also managed to find ourselves a treasure room. Disappointingly, not a massive pile of black cores, but at least it has some. And with any luck, we might get some more in this infested mine, because I'm starting to get a bit impatient. I feel like the drop rate for them is maybe a bit less than it possibly should be. That said, though, I guess you don't use black cores for portals, so I don't know. Leave some comments down below if you've got any opinions on the drop rate for black cores. Now, if you've ever wondered whether there's any merit in making the bigger health potions, this should dispel all possible reservations you might have had about whether or not to make them. They are fantastic and have saved my bacon on many occasions. So don't be shy about making a few or a lot, and carry a few with you all the time. Because you never know when you're going to be running one of these dungeons and you are going to have an entire extended family of cockroaches paying you a visit. Not quite what I wanted, but there is a couple of soldiers in that room. I think they're both just normal ones, but two soldiers at once can be an awful lot of burst damage if you're a bit unlucky. With all of these extra seekers supporting them, I've made a small tactical withdrawal into this entrance area because it does limit their attack options. Not to mention, occasionally they will whack you and you'll end up zoning out. So, yeah, anyway. We've dispatched our minor cockroach issue, and now we are using our Mark III door knocker to see if we can make some inroads into these two Seeker soldiers. And as you can see, she's pretty slow going. Well, falling down here wasn't exactly my first choice, but it has given us a little bit of an opportunity because we can get some area damage going from underneath them, which will vastly improve the chances that we will hit their delicate underbelly and shorten this fight considerably. Now, some of the stairs in these dungeons are indestructible. So where I was fighting the two soldiers, that's indestructible. You can wail away with whatever you like and you're not going to destroy those. These ones, on the other hand, you have to be a bit more delicate around because you can bust them up and potentially leave yourself a little bit stranded. So can't say that I've ever done that much damage to those stairs before, but I'd still be careful. So we've warped out of the dungeon and we've found out what our Jarl friend has been up to and the reason why he didn't come and pick on us. And it's because he's been beating up the Divergers at a camp that, relatively speaking, wasn't that far away. And it is a skull camp, and it's not just a Jarl. There was a Seeker soldier and a whole bunch of Seekers as well. And our poor little Diverger friends have not done very well out of this. There's still a few of them around, so I still need to be careful. But, yeah, they did take quite a few casualties. Now, after we got clear of the camp, there really wasn't any action to be had. So I've just rushed us back to the boat, and we are very low on good food at this stage, so we're cranking out some more food. This is what it looks like when you're cooking in the oven. We're making Mist Hair Supreme. It's one of the better health foods out of Mistlands. In fact, I think it is the best one. Oh, no, actually, there might be one better than this, but it's the best that I usually end up making in my experiences. And it and the honey glazed chicken, they're the two that I use the most of in terms of hit point food. And now we've reached the end of this episode. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you have, and make sure you're subscribed if you aren't already. In the meantime, my name is Rudimentary Rob. I want to thank you very much for watching, and make sure you have yourself a fantastic day.